Ladies and gentlemen, as the final days of June approach, many of you may find yourselves in a place of waiting, wondering, or even questioning. You might ask, when will I see progress? When will my breakthrough arrive? But today, I want to share a message with you that has the power to change your perspective. Before June ends, God's plan will unfold. Before June ends, plan will unfold, not by force, not by chance, but through the silent working of divine timing. Sometimes life seems stagnant. Days pass with no visible change and prayers appear unanswered. But understand this: silence is not absence. God is not inactive simply because He is quiet. In fact, some of the most powerful transitions occur in the stillness, where nothing seems to move, but everything is aligning beneath the surface. The delay you are experiencing may be the very space where your growth is happening. And the truth is, divine timing is never early, running fast, never late. It is always precise. You may feel as though you're walking in uncertainty, unsure of what's next. Not uncommon in moments before great shifts. Right before a breakthrough, life often becomes the most confusing. The reason is simple. The test of faith is never in comfort, but in the scene. It is in the valley, in the darkness, and in the silence that faith is shaped. But God doesn't just prepare the blessing for you. He prepares you for the blessing. What you learn in this season, even in pain or waiting, running is exactly what will sustain you when the answer finally arrives. You don't need to control every outcome. That urge to manage and manipulate results often comes from fear. But fear is the enemy of faith. Running through the park. When you surrender that need for control and embrace trust, you make space for grace to work. Faith is not just about believing that something will happen. It's believing that even if it doesn't happen the way you expect, it will still work for your good. That's the foundation of spiritual maturity. You stop asking when and start trusting who. You stop rushing and start preparing. The current moment may not show signs of progress, but signs are not always obvious. Think of how nature works. The most vibrant blooms come after deepest roots take hold. The tree doesn't stress about when it will bear fruit. It simply grows in obedience to the season. In the same way, your role is not to understand how God will make it happen. Your role is to remain faithful. Keep showing up. Keep believing. Keep doing the right things even when no one notices. The small actions done in secret are often the keys that unlock public victories. Before this month concludes, expect to see a shift. It may be internal, a deep clarity you didn't have before, running through the park, or it may be external, a door opening, a prayer answered, a connection restored. However it unfolds, running the park, know that it was always part of a greater plan. Your job is not to predict it, but to be prepared for it. Running through the park, trust that everything has been leading to this moment. The alignment is near. The breakthrough is at hand. And the God who saw your quiet faith will reveal His mighty hand just in time. What you are going through right now might feel confusing, running through the park, but that confusion is not the absence of purpose. It's often the space where transformation takes root. Running through the park. Many people assume that if something is meant for them, it will be obvious or effortless. But divine plans rarely announce themselves in grand ways. They begin subtly, quietly, like seeds planted in the soil. You don't see immediate results, but deep underground, something powerful is taking place. That's what happens with your life, running through, especially in moments like these. Before June ends, something is taking shape that you cannot yet see. You will soon understand why you had to wait, grow, and endure. Too often we interpret delay as denial. But when we do that, we forget how God operates. He doesn't rush what is sacred. Just as a sculptor takes time to shape a masterpiece, so does life mold you for what's coming. The slow seasons, the ones where nothing seems to change, are the very ones that prepare you for sudden elevation. Many people want to be delivered from discomfort, but few realize that discomfort is often the delivery room for destiny. Before you see the result, you will go through refinement. This is where your mindset becomes your most powerful tool. Through the pack. You must stop focusing on what hasn't happened and start trusting what is happening, even if it's not visible yet. Progress is not always loud. Sometimes the biggest victories happen internally. When you stay calm under pressure, when you choose faith over fear, or when you walk away from what no longer aligns with your purpose. These quiet decisions, made in moments no one sees, are what build the strength to carry what is coming next. Now is the time to reflect, prepare, and expect. There's something sacred about believing before seeing. That kind of belief rewires your energy. It moves you from desperation to trust, running through the park, from panic to peace. When you walk with that kind of faith, you begin to notice signs, subtle confirmations that things are shifting in your favor. A message arrives at the right moment. A conversation sparks unexpected clarity. An opportunity appears when you're least expecting it. These are not coincidences running through the park. They are the gentle unfolding of something much greater. Stay in alignment with your higher values. Park, don't compromise your integrity just because the road feels long. Sometimes the test before the blessing iced you. Will you stay faithful when it seems like nothing is happening? If you can pass that test, what's meant for you will not miss you. Before June ends, trust that what has been delayed is aligning. It may not look like what you imagined, but it will be exactly what your soul needs. Timing is not just about dates. It's about readiness. And you, whether you feel it or not, are becoming ready. Each day of this month has been working in your favor, preparing you for what's next. The breakthrough may be quiet, but its impact will be undeniable. There is a profound beauty in the timing of divine plans. Often we find ourselves restless, watching the days slip by, wondering when life will finally shift in our favor. But what we fail to see is that God is never inactive. Even in seasons where nothing seems to be moving, everything is actually being positioned. Every delay, every closed door through the park, and every unanswered prayer is a part of a larger pattern that is being woven together with wisdom and intention. As June nears its end, I trust that you are standing at the edge of something that has been quietly prepared for you. There's a lesson hidden in the way life unfolds. Sometimes you must walk through darkness before you recognize the light. You must experience confusion before clarity arrives. These in-between spaces are not mistakes, they are classrooms for the soul. The park. Growth rarely happens in ease. It happens in the tension of the unknown, in the effort to stay strong when you feel tired through the park, and in the courage to keep going when you don't have answers. The process may seem invisible now, but it is in these very moments that your foundation is being made stronger. You are not being forgotten, you are being fortified. Distinction matters. Feeling overlooked can make anyone question their value, but the truth is, the longer something is hidden, the more powerful it becomes when revealed. Think of a mountain forming beneath the earth's crust. The pressure builds, the layers deepen, and then, suddenly, it rises, majestic and unshakable. That's how your purpose is forming right now. Before June ends, that slow, silent build may finally show its first visible sign. Your responsibility is not to force the outcome, but to remain faithful during the process. You don't need to have all the answers to move forward. You only need trust. Trust that your preparation has not been in vain. Through the park, trust that every step you've taken, even the uncertain ones, has led you closer to alignment. There is nothing random about the season you are in. The lessons, the losses, quiet moments, all have been shaping your readiness for what's about to come. Now is not the time to retreat in fear or doubt. Now is the time to anchor yourself in belief. Not belief in chance, but belief in divine purpose. Speak life over your path. Encourage your spirit with hope. Prepare as if the opportunity is already on its way, because it is. Before June ends, you may not only witness a shift externally, but also internally. You may wake up one morning with fresh clarity, renewed passion, or an unexpected peace. And when that happens, you'll realize the plan was always unfolding. You just needed to remain still long enough to see it. So keep walking with patience, choosing faith. The unfolding is not far off. It's already in motion, waiting for the right moment to rise. As June draws to a close, quiet urgency in the air, a feeling that something unseen is nearing completion. You may have felt it in your heart, a stirring running the park, a subtle pull that tells you not to give up just yet. That inner sense is not your imagination. It's the whisper of purpose calling you to hold on. Often, just before a major breakthrough, life tests your endurance, your patience, and your faith. The struggle intensifies not because you're far from the promise, but because you're closer than you realize. What seems like pressure is often the final step before progress. There are seasons in life where you feel like you're pouring effort into seeing the ground and seeing no results. You give, you grow, you pray, and still silence. But this silence is not failure. It's the stillness before God's plan reveals itself. The final days of a season often carry the most weight. Just as the night is darkest before the dawn, the most resistance can come before release. Don't misinterpret your current trials as signs of defeat. Instead, recognize them as signs of transition. You are not stuck. You are shifting. When you stay faithful in unseen places, something powerful happens inside you. You stop needing immediate results to feel valuable. Through the park, you start walking with peace even when the world gives you no reason to. That's the mark of spiritual maturity, the ability to stand calm while everything around you feels uncertain. This inner strength is not just admirable. It's necessary. Through the park, because when the shift comes, you must be ready to carry what you've prayed for. The blessing is not just about arrival, it's about responsibility. The waiting season has been building that strength within you. Run the park. One of the greatest traps in a waiting season is comparison. Looking at others' timelines, successes, or stories can make you question your own. Running through the park. But remember this, God's plan for your life is not delayed just because someone else is moved faster. You are not behind, you are being aligned. Just as every flower blooms in its own time, your season of unfolding will come exactly when you are most prepared to embrace it. There is no competition in destiny. Running the park, the purpose that's yours cannot be given to another, and what's meant to find you will not pass you by. So let the final days of June be filled with expectation, not anxiety. Begin each morning not with worry, but with gratitude that you've made it this far. Speak hope into your life. Declare that things are working for your good through the park. Even when you can't see how, watch how your mindset begins to shift your atmosphere. This is not false hope. It's preparation, because before June ends, something is going to change. Whether it's a sign, an opportunity, a release of peace, or a new direction, the park will come as a reminder that you were never forgotten and the plan was always in motion. There is something sacred about the final stretch of any journey. It's where endurance is tested, faith is refined, and clarity often arrives in unexpected ways. As June comes to an end, important to understand that timing in life is not random. It is orchestrated. Every delay, every closed door, through the park. Every moment of confusion has been setting the stage for something far greater than what you can currently see. The quietness you may be experiencing right now is not a sign that nothing is happening. It's often the sign that everything is finally coming together, piece by piece, behind the scenes. Sometimes the greatest shifts come without noise. They don't always announce themselves with dramatic changes. Instead, they arrive gently, wrapped in ordinary moments that suddenly reveal extraordinary meaning. That moment when a phone call brings unexpected news, or an opportunity appears just when you were ready to give up. That is how divining often unfolds. You may think it's coincidence, but it's actually confirmation. It's a sign that your patience was not wasted, that your faith did not go unnoticed, and that the seeds you planted in past seasons are ready to bloom. It's easy to become discouraged when you feel like you're standing still while the world keeps moving. But stillness is not stagnation. It is often the space where clarity finds you. When distractions fade and outside noise quiets down, that's when your inner voice can rise, running through the park. That's when you start to hear guidance more clearly and understand your direction more fully. This final part of June may be calling you to listen, to pause, and to prepare. Not out of fear, but out of faith that something is about to shift. You've come too far to quit now. Every step you've taken, even when you were unsure, has led you here. And here is not the end, it's the threshold. What comes next may not be loud, but it will be meaningful. A subtle answer running through the path. A moment of peace, a new sense of confidence. These are signs that you're aligned with a higher plan. Don't underestimate the value of these small confirmations. They are evidence that the process has been working and that the unfolding is near. The learn-through part, the lesson of this season is simple. Trust the process even when the path is hidden. You don't need to understand every detail to move forward. You just need to remain open, grounded, and hopeful. Let June be a month you finish strong. Not because everything is perfect, because you held on with strength, dignity, and quiet faith. Before June ends, trust that what is meant for you will begin to reveal itself. The timing is not just about the calendar, it's about your readiness, your growth, and your willingness to receive what's already on its way. As the final days of June approach, you may feel a quiet anticipation, as if something unseen is waiting to be revealed. This feeling is not without reason. Life often operates in cycles, and when a season nears its close, the energy shifts. The power, what was once hidden, begins to rise to the surface. Through the park, that's why the closing of a month like June can be more than just the passage of time. It can represent a turning point. A moment when what you've been preparing for finally meets its appointed time. A moment when God's plan begins to unfold in a way that no longer feels distant, but real and within reach. The truth is, everything you've been through has been preparing you for this point. The disappointments, the delays, the detours. All of it has served a purpose. Sometimes growth doesn't show itself immediately. It happens quietly, in your mindset, in your patience, in your ability to stay grounded despite uncertainty. And now, as this month ends, throng through the park, it's not just about what happens around you, it's about what's been shifting within you. That inner transformation is what makes you ready for the outer manifestation. Before June ends, expect not just a change in circumstance, but a change in you. Every new chapter requires a version of you that didn't exist before. That's why some blessings are delayed, because they require your maturity, your clarity, your strength. And the beautiful thing is, through the park, all of that has been developing even when you didn't feel it. You've grown in your silence. Running through the park, you've learned how to keep going without applause. You've learned to trust when there were no signs. These lessons are not small, they are the foundation of what's to come. Do not doubt the value of your preparation. Often, it is the people who stay consistent in quiet seasons who are trusted with greater responsibilities in the next. The ones who kept planting, pruning through the park, kept believing, kept moving forward even when progress seemed invisible. Those are the individuals who are closest to breakthrough. through the park. And if that's you, then be encouraged. You haven't been forgotten. You've been positioned. This final part of June invites you to walk with expectation. Not desperation, but grounded, peaceful expectation. Calm assurance that something is working in your favor. The more you align your thoughts, your words, and your actions with faith instead of fear, the more you open the space for divine timing to show itself. Don't be surprised if opportunities begin to appear. Conversations shift, clarity comes, or solutions present themselves in unexpected ways. These are not just fortunate events, they are signals that the waiting has not been in vain. So take a deep breath, reflect on how far you've come, and recognize that you are not at the end, you are at the brink. The final days of June carry promise. If you've been faithful in the waiting, then trust before this month closes. Something distinct will begin to unfold. Before June ends, there is a message rising in your spirit that cannot be ignored. Something is about to shift. It may not be dramatic, it may not make headlines, but deep within, you'll know a new chapter has begun. Life's greatest transitions rarely come with fanfare, running the park. Instead, they arrive through still moments, gentle revelations, and divine alignments that could only be orchestrated by something greater than yourself. You may have felt like nothing is changing, but often running through the park, when it seems the quietest, that's when the most sacred work is being done. The soil beneath you has been turning. The seeds you've planted are about to break through. Think of all the effort you've made this year so far. The prayers, the decisions, the sacrifices, none of them were wasted. They were deposits into your future. Even the times you doubted yourself or questioned the path, you still chose to get up, to try again, to believe just a little more. Kind of perseverance does not go unnoticed. It builds character. It builds spiritual muscle. It prepares you not just for the blessing, but for the weight of responsibility that comes with it. Running through because what's coming isn't just about convenience or comfort. It's about stepping into a season that demands a stronger, wiser, more focused version of you. Many people give up right before their breakthrough simply because they can't see it yet. But vision isn't always about sight. It's about faith. And faith means walking forward even when the path is unclear, trusting that your steps are not random, you are not wandering, you are being guided. The signs may have been subtle, but they are their conversation that sparked something new, a delay that protected you, an unexpected peace that reminded you to rest instead of rush. These are the markers that something bigger is forming just outside the realm of your current understanding. Don't underestimate the power of alignment. Sometimes God will slow things down around you so that everything else, people, timing, resources, can catch up to your readiness. That pause isn't punishment, it's protection. And now, the waiting season is approaching its conclusion. You will begin to see why things happened the way they did. You'll realize some no's were actually divine redirections. You'll see how strength built in your silence and how wisdom was born in your uncertainty. Running through the park, let these final days of June be filled with intention. Reflect on what you've released and what you're ready to receive. Speak with clarity. Move with purpose. Stay open to the unexpected. Because the answer you've been praying for may arrive wrapped in simplicity. A conversation, an opportunity, an inner shift. It doesn't have to be loud to be life-changing. What's meant for you has been preparing for you, just as you've been preparing for it. And now, as the month ends, the veil begins to lift. Trust this truthing before June ends. The park, God's plan will not just begin, it will unfold. And you'll know it was always right on time.